What if you could build a foundation in AI governance in just 10 days? Not become an expert, not land a job, but build enough knowledge to speak intelligently about AI governance, understand the key frameworks, and know where you want to specialize. That's what I'm going to give to you today. A 10-day skill sprint. One skill per day, 30 to 60 minutes of focused learning, so that by day 10, you'll have a working knowledge of the core concepts that define this field. Hi, everyone. I am Obi. I'm a researcher and a consultant in AI governance, cybersecurity, and data. And today, I am going to walk you through exactly what you need to learn and in what order to build your AI governance foundation fast. Let's get into it. Before I give you the 10 skills, let me explain why this approach works. Most people approach learning AI governance the wrong way. They try to learn everything at once. They bounce between topics, read random articles, watch scattered videos, and 3 months later, they've consumed a lot of content, but they can't explain what AI governance actually is. So this 10-day sprint is a little different. It's structured, it's sequential, each day builds on the last, and it's compressed enough to maintain momentum. So 10 days is short enough to finish and long enough to actually learn something. So here's a plan. The first 3 days are about building your foundation. You cannot govern what you don't understand. So day one is about how AI actually works, not how to build it, but how it conceptually works. What's an AI model? What's training data? What's inference? How does a machine learning system learn? How does it make predictions? You need this vocabulary. You need this mental model. Your action item is to take the first module of Google's AI Fundamentals course. It is free. It takes about 45 minutes. Day 2 is learning about where AI could go wrong. Now that you understand how AI works, you need to understand how it fails. Bias, hallucinations, data leakage, adversarial attacks, and drifts. These are the failure modes that AI governance is designed to prevent. Your action item is to read about 3 major AI failures. You could read more, but 3 is a minimum. Read about Amazon's hiring algorithm that was biased against women. Read about the healthcare algorithm that was also deprioritizing certain patients. Read about Air Canada's chatbot, the recent one that made up a refund policy. Understand what went wrong in each place and why. Day 3 is about what AI governance actually is. Define it. AI governance is a system of policies, processes, and controls that organizations use to develop and deploy AI responsibly. It spans 4 function clusters: policy and compliance, ethics and responsible AI, risk and security, and the last one is audit and assurance. Your action item is to map these 4 clusters, understand what each one does, start thinking about which one interests you the most. Day 4 is NIST AI Risk Management Framework. This is the most important framework in the US. It's voluntary, but it has become the de facto standard. It has 4 core functions: govern, map, measure, and manage. This is what I call the GM3. Your action item is to read the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, its executive summary. It's about 15 pages. Understand the 4 functions and how they work together. Now, I have a video on this that you can refer to. Day 5 is about the EU AI Act, just the basics of it. This act is the most important AI regulation in the world right now. It's mandatory for everyone selling AI in the EU. It uses a risk-based approach: unacceptable risk, high risk, limited risk, and minimal risk. Different requirements apply at each level. Your action item here is to read a summary of the EU AI Act, understand the risk tiers and what triggers high-risk classifications. Day 6 is the ISO 42001 overview. This is the international standard for AI management systems. If you've worked with ISO 27001 for information security, this follows the same structure. It's becoming the certification standard for AI governance programs. Now, your action item is to read an overview of this ISO document, understand its structure and how it relates to other ISO standards. Day 7 to 9 are about specialized skills. These are the practical capabilities that AI governance roles require. So day 7 is AI risk assessment. Every AI governance role involves assessing risk. What could go wrong? How likely is it to go wrong? How severe would it be? What controls could have mitigated it? So, your action item is to learn about AI specific risks: bias risk, security risk, reliability risk, privacy risk. Understand how to assess and categorize these risks. Day 8 is about AI ethics principles: fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy, and safety. These principles show up in every AI governance framework, but they're not just abstract concepts, they translate into concrete requirements. Your action item is to study how each principle translates into practice. What does fairness actually mean in an AI system? How do you measure transparency? Day 9 is the AI security basics. AI systems have unique security vulnerabilities: prompt injection, data poisoning, model extraction, adversarial input. Now, I've talked about this in a previous video on AI red teaming. You're welcome to watch it. Even if you're not going into AI security specifically, you need to understand these threats. Now, your action item is to review the OWASP top 10 for LLMs. Understand the most common attack vectors against AI systems. Now, day 10, this is where you put it all together. This is your synthesis day. You've learned how AI works, how it fails, what governance is, the major frameworks, and the specialized skills. Now you connect them all together. Your action item is to write a one-page summary of what you've learned. Define AI governance in your own words. Explain why it matters. List the key frameworks and identify which function cluster interests you the most. This exercise will force you to articulate what you've learned. And if you can write it down, you can talk about it. You can talk about it in interviews and in networking conversations. And I've put together a detailed guide that includes the specific resources for each day, the links, the reading list, the action items, and check boxes to track your progress. It's free, and I'll link it in the description below. Here's what I want you to do: download the guide, start day 1 tomorrow, and drop a comment telling me that you're in. I want to know who's taking this challenge. Subscribe if you want more content on AI governance. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.